Good day everyone. It's another learning day. It's me again, your teacher, Marlene Nuno, and I'm going to discuss about the application of the properties of special right triangles. Let us start. So let us have the two special right triangles, which includes the first one is 45, 45, 90 degree. So we have here our illustration. The 45, 45, 90 triangle is based on the square with sides of 1 unit. So if we draw the diagonals, we will form two 45, 45, 90 triangles. So using the Pythagorean Theorem, we can find the length of the diagonal. So we have 1 squared plus 1 squared is equal to c squared. So 1 squared is 1, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. And getting the square root of both sides, we will get the value of the hypotenuse as square root of 2. So the legs are congruent and its length is hypotenuse times the square root of 2 divided by 2. So we have to use this formula. Now the length of the hypotenuse is square root of 2 times the length of a leg. So this will be the formula to be used. Now another special right triangle is the 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. So let us look at this figure. The 30, 60, 90 triangle is based on an equilateral triangle with sides of 2 units. So observe that we have the base angles are 60 degrees. The altitude, which is also the angle bisector and median, cuts the triangle into two congruent triangles. Have you observed that in the figure? So this is the other half. We saw that the hypotenuse is twice the short leg because we have the base is 1 unit and the hypotenuse is 2 units. Therefore, the hypotenuse is equal to 2 times the shorter leg. Then, the length of the longer leg is square root of 3 times the length of the shorter leg. We can use this illustration such that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared as illustrated in our Pythagorean Theorem. Then by substitution, a squared plus the base, which is 1, is equal to, we have the hypotenuse, which is 2. So the square of 1 is 1 and the square of 2 is 4. Then, by addition property of equality, 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. And getting the square root of both sides, the value of a is square root of 3. So we're going to use the formula. The longer leg is equal to the square root of 3 times the shorter leg. Now another concept in a 30, 60, 90 triangle is that the length of the shorter leg is half of the length of the hypotenuse, or the longer leg times the square root of 3 divided by 3. So it depends on the given. So we're going to use the shorter leg is equal to the hypotenuse over 2, or the shorter leg is equal to the longer leg times the square root of 3 over 3. Now let us have its application. So find the value of m in the figure. So observe that in the figure, it is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. M is opposite side of the right angle, therefore it is called hypotenuse. Therefore, we're going to use the idea that hypotenuse is equal to the square root of 2 times the leg. Then by substitution, we have the hypotenuse is represented as m. Then the constant square root of 2 is multiplied to the leg, which is 8. Therefore, the square root of 2 times 8 is 8 square root of 2. And this is the length of the hypotenuse. Another application is that find the value of r in the figure. Observe that we have also a 45, 45, 90 triangle. And r is the opposite side of the 45 angle, therefore it is the leg. So what formula are we going to use? Leg is equal to the hypotenuse times the square root of 2 over 2. And by substitution, r is equal to the hypotenuse, which is 12, times the constant, which is the square root of 2, is divided by 2, which is also a constant. Then dividing 12 by 2 will give us 6. So r, or the leg, is equivalent to 6 times the square root of 2. Now another one is find the shorter leg represented by t and the hypotenuse, which is s in the figure. So in the figure, we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So to find the shorter leg, we're going to use the formula t is equal to the longer leg times the square root of 3 over 3. Then by substitution, our longer leg is equivalent to 9. Then simplifying, 9 divided by 3 will give us 3. Then multiply to square root of 3. So, t, or the shorter leg, is equal to 3 times square root of 3. Another is to find the hypotenuse. So we have to use s is equal to 2 times the shorter leg. By substitution, s is equal to 2 times 3 square root of 3. Then, we have 2 times 3 is 6, then copy square root of 3. So, we have the hypotenuse is 6 square root of 3. Now, it's time for me to check how well do you know by answering this question. We have the figure of 45, 45, 90 triangle. If the hypotenuse in the figure measures a square root of 2, then what is the measure of the legs? Is it A, 45, B, A, C, 2, or D, square root of 2? I hope you learned in our discussions. Thank you for watching. God bless everyone.